Married soldiers could lose their army accommodation after 8 years of service. That's according to the Times newspaper, which claims it's part of proposals being considered to cut housing costs. The claims have been played down by the Ministry of Defence, as Tim Cooper reports.
One of the huge advantages of a military career is the provision of service accommodation, particularly married quarters. It's available at reasonable cost and puts families in an environment where everyone's in the same boat, enabling a close community to establish. And should there be problems, an understanding helping hand is never far away. But today's Times suggests this could partially be coming to an end, with plans mooted which could see married quarters being available for only 8 or 10 years. After that, says the paper, families would have to rent or buy their own place at commercial rates. For ex-regular soldier Doug Beattie, who's quoted in the paper and now a reservist, it's a worrying prospect.
It's just absolutely not practical whatsoever. Now, if you add on to the fact that you may be posted to London, how do you afford the accommodation, especially if you're one of the more vulnerable, least paid soldiers in the British Army?
It costs the MOD a reported £318 million a year for families' accommodation. Moving married personnel into the community could reduce that figure, but at what cost? Properties like these on the edge of Salisbury Plain could be much cheaper the further up country you go, or indeed into Scotland, meaning that someone with the same rank as you and same job could be hundreds or thousands of pounds better off just because they're in a cheaper part of the country. For example, assuming a 25% deposit to get a mortgage on a 2-bed house, you'd need an average £26,382 for Kirk Newton, soon to be a so-called super garrison, while travel down to the home of the army, Aldershot, and you'd need £43,248. That's a difference of almost £17,000. The Army Families Federation believes it will hit the pockets of those living in the south.
The cost of living here is huge, and I go back to my home in the northeast will be much more attractive because houses are much more affordable, and in reality that's not going to be a choice that families can make themselves because, as the Army says, the exigencies of the service come first.
But all of this could be a long way off and might not happen at all. It won't be until the summer that we see the new employment model, which includes accommodation. The MOD said in a statement today, any option will maintain the importance of publicly provided accommodation as part of overall service terms and conditions. No decisions have been taken, and a report is due for consideration by the Defence Board this summer. Tim Cooper, Forces News.